Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. We've made it another day. One step closer to Friday. Hee-haw! Hey, Sue. Good morning. Macy is here. Hi, Melissa. Hope everybody's having a great day. Natterbat is here this morning. Guys, this morning I'm going to start a new blanket. And I meant to grab it down. Let me see if I can reach it now that I'm all set up. Okay, so one of the blankets I always have kind of going in the background is just a little ripple blanket. And this is the one I finished. Gosh, what did maybe 2 weeks ago I finished this. But this is just a very easy chevron. This pattern that I did is the With Love pattern. And one of my goals this year is to do one veterans blanket or a wheelchair blanket that I can donate, kind of in memory of my father who passed over Christmas. So I finished this one up a couple weeks ago. And so, guys, it's time to start another one. This is a really easy pattern. I just kind of have it laying around here after work when I'm tired and I don't want to count stitches. Let's be honest, I don't want to do anything. I just can kind of work on this. It's a very, very easy pattern. And we're going to start one from scratch this morning, which is kind of unusual because a lot of times I come in the middle of projects, but I thought, well, why not? Let's start today from scratch. So I went to the yarn closet, yarn room, and I grabbed out these really pretty colors. So I have white also, but this is Red Heart, Baby Pink, Red Heart Super Saver. Now this yarn calls for an I9 hook. And I'm pairing it today with a Caron Jumbo. And this is the colorway Rosewood. Now, the Caron yarn calls for an H8. Because they're mismatched hooks, I am going to go with the larger size hook. But look at that Rosewood. Oh my gosh, isn't that just gorgeous? So, so pretty. So, anyhow, grab your coffee, get in your comfy chair if you're not at work. If you're at work, keep working, quote, work. And let's make some blankets this morning, or let's get a blanket started. So, the pattern that I'm using today, you guys have heard me talk a lot about it, is the With Love pattern. And this is a repeating blanket that I used for both the American Patriot, the Blue Sea Dreams blanket, and also this lavender blanket. Okay. Now, when I did the lavender blanket, I only used the first row. I ignored everything else and I just did the first row. Very, very easy blanket. So it's all double crochets. You have your starting chain and double crochets. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to make this even easier. Let's just get rid of all these rows. Wham! Look at that. Look at that. I'm so excited. I just kind of laid it out. So basically, these are all just the same repeating. You can mix your colors however you want, but you can kind of see now how they are going to stack up on top of each other. So basically, I'm just repeating row one over and over again. I do my starting chain, which we're going to do here in a minute. Then I do my double crochets. I turn my work, and then I come back with double crochets. Oh my God, so easy, right? So, so easy. So, we're going to talk about mountains and valleys today. We're going to use this beautiful pink yarn. I'm going to start with the baby pink first. Kind of feels a little Valentine's ish, right? So, let me get my hook here. I was working on a different project this morning, but I hope everybody is having a marvelous day and you're excited to start a new blanket with me this morning. Well, you might not be. You might be working on something else. Hey, Queen 530. You've got a head cold, huh? No, I'm so sorry to hear that. I was kind of stuffed up this morning too. That might be going around. I kept thinking, don't get sick. Don't get sick. I don't have time to be sick. Okay. So from the top here, this little oval here you can see represents a chain. And you can come over here to the legend for those that don't know how to read diagrams. You find the matching stitch over here and it tells you what to do. Now I've got lots of stitches. We're not going to use majority of these today. We're just going to do the little oval. And then you can see here is a stitch that looks like a T with kind of a hatch mark on it. That is your double crochet. Okay, so all of these are double crochets. Then you can see we have this like three looking kind of triangle one. That one, if you come over here, tells you it's a double 3 together. So 3 double crochets together. And then the other stitch we need to know is up here where it's kind of fanned out. This is just 3 that are in the same stitch. And this, as it goes up and down, this pointy part here, this is what's called the chevron. And this is a repeating pattern. So what this tells you is your starting chain, you're going to chain up 20 and you're going to ask yourself, is 20 enough? Yes or no? If it's not enough, you add another 20. Is that enough? Yes or no? If not, add another 20. And you keep going like that till you get as wide as you want it to be. And then you add 2 for your turning chain. Okay, so I'm going to count these up, guys. Talk amongst yourself as I count these out. Okay, 1, 2, 3. You know what? I'm going to make these kind of last time I got this, it seemed like it was a little tight. Let me make sure these are nice and loose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Was that 14? Oh, goodness me. I've already messed it up. Now I've got to go back and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I'm going to pop in a stitch marker because I have the attention span of like a 2-year-old sometimes. Okay, here we go. 25 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. I need another stitch marker here. Actually, I'm going to steal this one. We'll make this 50. Even better. Okay, so there's 50. Almost there. Halfway. Oops, close up there, little guy. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Sorry, guys. I know this is kind of boring as I'm counting. Y'all catch up on yesterday's events while I'm doing this or something, right? I should have done 100, but this morning I had to work on my bird feeder, so I didn't have things. Didn't My morning didn't go as planned. I didn't crochet a lot before I got started. I worked on my baby blanket a little bit, but then I worked on the bird feeders. Okay, one second. Let me do some more here. Hey, Desert Life. I'm so happy to see you this morning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. You know, I think making chains is one of the things I detest the most. How do you guys feel about chains? Is it just me that I don't like doing chains? It's the most critical part too, and every time I'm like, "Oh, please don't screw this up. Please don't screw this up. Please don't get your counts wrong." Okay, so that's 100. I've done 2 groupings of 50. And I need for this, what did I say? I needed 122. So let me do 22 here more, and then I'll just go back to the pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. Okay, I'm going to pause there. So when I do my wheelchair size, I make it 35 inches wide. So this from here to here, when I get my blanket, is 35. Then I make it 45 inches tall. So I go up and up and up and up. You can see the purple in here. It kind of goes on. And then once I get it done, it's a total of 45 inches. This is doubled up. Okay. So when I do uh, this repeat, okay, I am starting with 122. And basically, what I did is I did what's 10, no, what's 20 divided by, oh God, I can't math this morning, guys. How do I get to 100? 10 times 20 is 120? No, that's 200. Is that 200? I don't know. Can somebody help me with my math? I'm special. Anyhow, I did multiples of 20, and then when I got it to 120, I stopped and I added 2. So 60. Oh, times 6. Thank you, Caroline. That's right. 6 times 20 is 120. That's how I got to 120. Then I added 2. Okay. So that's all of these chains, and that includes this turning chain of 3 here. So this turning chain, which is on my hook here, is part of what we just crocheted up. That becomes my first double crochet. So basically I'm going to go back 1, 2, 3 into the fourth. I'm going to do a double crochet. Are you guys laughing at me with my math? I'm laughing at me with my math. The struggle is real. The struggle is real. Okay, so this one on your hook right here, this does not count as a chain. Okay, so you don't count this one. We need 1, 2, 3 into this fourth one here. We need a double crochet. Okay, now this counts as our very first chain, or this is our first double crochet. This is our second. So these two are technically our first. Whenever you're doing this chevron, we're going to make this go up and down. But you can see here the starting row, as you first start out, all the way up, you're going to have 2 double crochets into the first space. Okay, same thing over here. As you end, you're always going to have 2 into this one stitch. And what that does, you can kind of see it even on the paper here. See how this one kind of leans this way? I always think of that song Lean Back. I know you don't want me to sing it. But it leans on you. So you have to come back with this extra stitch, and that will help keep your edges straight. When we go up the mountain and down the mountain, there's always 8. And even from the beginning, I've done a lot of these chevron patterns, and this a lot of times is a different amount. Like it'll be 5, or it'll be something opposite of this. Guys, every time I do that, I'm like, why is this 8 and this is 5? It makes like a shorter thing. It always confuses me, and it just makes it more difficult on my counting. So I said, you know what? When I do this, I'm going to do it my own way. I'm going to do 8, 8, 8, 8 the whole way across. That way I don't have to think. I'm always going to do 8. But remember, when you get to that very end, you need an extra one. So as we are going down the mountain here, we're going to have a total of 9. I've got 2 right now. So now we're going to count and we're going to get to 9. Okay, so here is 3. I'm just going into each one of these into a separate stitch. And I'm working in the back bump. Okay, so if you're brand new to crochet, as you look at a chain, one side you can see how it kind of looks like a little V. If you turn your chain, you can see it has this little, what we call the back bump, and I'm going to go into the back bump. The reason why I like to go into that stitch rather than into the other side, as we get a few more, I will show you, but this leaves a nice finished edge as you are doing your blanket, because I don't want to put a border or anything on this. I just want it to be done when it's done. But you can see it leaves behind these 2 stitches. So if you were doing, say, a baby blanket or something, right, then you would have these 2 bars to be able to work into, and it just looks really nice. So let's count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more. Okay, so now technically we just went down the valley, and I know it looks totally flat right now, but we're going to make some magic here. Okay, so I have 8 double crochets, and then I have the extra one here, which is our 9th. Okay, So now we're ready here, and we're ready to do this triangle shaped stitch. So again, you could come over to the legend and it tells you it's 3 together double crochets. And you're going to do this into the 3 stitches. Now, I know this sounds really, really complicated. I promise you it is not, but we're going to go into 3 of the chains, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to put 3 stitches. Okay, so I'm going to go into the first stitch here, the back bump, and I'm going to start a double crochet. Pull up my loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now here's where the magic is. Do not finish that stitch. Just leave those 2 loops right on your hook. And now we're going to move to the next space here, and we're going to start another double crochet. Okay, so again, right under that back bump, grab up your loop. Again, yarn over and pull through 2. Again, do not finish, just holding. Now we've got 2. Now we're going to do another one. We need 3 of these total. Yarn over, go under the back bump, grab up your loop, yarn over, pull through 2, again holding. So you can see here we have our starting chain on our hook, 3 unfinished double crochets. Now what we're going to do is yarn over, and I'm going to go through all of those 4 stitches. Squish them up. Okay, so you can see all of that because we put them together, it went and squished it. So what that does, this is also called, you'll hear it referred to as a decrease, a decrease. So this makes our little valley. Okay, so this is going to start going up like this. And now we're going to head up the mountain and we're going to make it go up like this. Okay, so now again, remember, I need 8 double crochets, 1 into each stitch. So we're just going to move right along here and do our 8 double crochets. Very, very easy. Guys, today I'm going to miss quite a few comments as I'm talking about these stitches. So hopefully our folks that are here every day can help to answer some new questions for our new friends that are coming on. And also the mods. But I do apologize in advance. If you are a new follower, I see lots of you guys popping up over here this morning on TikTok. Please, please do not take it personal if I miss your comment, okay? I try my very, very best to talk about the stitches and do some teaching and answer questions as I go along. And it is quite a bit for me to do all of those together. So I will do my very, very best, but this is an amazing little group we have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more. We need 8. And we're very excited to have you here join us this morning. And for those that don't know, my name is April, and I'm just a hobby crocheter. I come on live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings at 7 Central Time. So I know that's really early for a lot of you guys. Everything that I'm working with today, the yarn that I'm using, this pattern, everything that I'm doing, you can find on my link tree. And I try to update that before I go live every time. And for those that don't know, I am also live streaming this morning on YouTube. So if you're watching me on YouTube, I'm also over on TikTok. And if you're on TikTok, you can also find me on YouTube. My handle is all the same, Wheeler 8 Acres. Storms Homestead said, is this a good pattern for a baby blanket? Absolutely. I would use a thinner weight yarn, maybe a 3 weight if you are capable of using a lighter weight. But yeah, you would just do it in baby colors and it's super, super easy. And guys, there's a link to this PDF on the link tree. Okay, so if you want to download, this is the easy one. Okay, this is just the 1 row repeat. So basically, I took my With Love pattern, which has lots of different textures, and I isolated. We're just doing row 1 today. Okay, that's all we're doing for this blanket. Here's an example of one I finished a couple weeks ago. I'm doing this in wheelchair size, but this morning I'm going to do exactly the same thing as you see here. So right now I've got pink. Wherever you see purple, I'm going to do pink. So basically I'm going to do, I can't even remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of pink. Then I'm going to do 2 rows of white. Then I'm going to take that variegated pink, the rosewood color, and I'm going to pop it in here where this is textured row is, and then I'm going to continue up. But you can mix and match your colors however you like, okay? So here is our valley. You can kind of see it's forming its little V now. This will be more pronounced as we get more rows stacked up here. So now if we go back to our pattern, we just finished this and this. So now we're at the tippy top of the mountain. And what this shows us is we have our chain here that we're working in. And you can see there's 3 of these double crochets all into that same stitch. They're not together. So down here in the valley, you squish them up here at the top, they're spread out, okay? So into this next stitch here, let me make sure I got 8. I lost track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here's our mountaintop. This little stitch here, we need 3 double crochets. So just put 3 right into that space. Now, technically, this is called an increase, okay? When we do an increase, what it does is it allows the stitches to fan out. That way we can crest over the mountaintop, and now we're ready to start heading back down into the valley. Okay, and so, mods, also, can you thump me on the head at 8 o'clock? We need to do the subscriber giveaway this morning, okay, for the TikTok subscribers for this month. We're going to do the spinning wheel for this yarn, okay? So 8 o'clock, give me a flag or something and make sure I'm paying attention. So now we're going to head down the valley. Again, we need 8 double crochets, okay? So 1 in each stitch. We're just going to do a total of 8. Gosh, I really love this pink. Isn't this pink nice? I know it's kind of a baby color, but I thought it might be nice to go to the retirement home or healthcare center, right? Like, I can see a little gal snuggled up with her pink rosewood blanket. Can't you visualize that? I think this is really pretty. I think that white is really going to make the pink kind of pop out also. I don't know. I just have this nice visual of that. Um, I guess that's why I kind of do this stuff, right? Okay, let me count. I think I might have too many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. I can't even count this morning. Lordy, I'm special. Okay, so there's our 8 double crochets. Okay, so you can kind of see how this is starting to go up and down. So now here we are at the bottom of the valley. Now at the valley, every time we're going to go into these 3 stitches here. 1, 2, 3. You can see their little bumps, and we're going to do a 3 together double crochet. So into the first stitch here, we're going to start a double crochet, yarn over, go under that back bump, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now do not finish. We're just going to hold that stitch right there. Now we're going to move to the next one. Again, yarn over, start another double crochet right into that next stitch, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, again holding. And we need 3 of these, so right into the next stitch, start another double crochet. So there's number 3. So we have our starting loop on our hook here. You can see here 3 unfinished double crochets, a total of 4 loops, yarn over and pull through all 4. Squish those up. Okay, so now that is our new valley. So now we're going to head back up the mountain. And when we go up the mountain, you remember we need 8 double crochets, 1 in each of these back bumps. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. Let me pull out some more yarn here. Okay, so here was our valley. Here's our mountaintop over here. We need to do another mountaintop. So we're going to do right into this stitch here, 3 double crochets. Do not put them together, just do 3 independent double crochets right into that one stitch. And that becomes our mountaintop. So again, we increase here so that we can crest over the mountaintop. And now we're ready to start heading back down the mountain. When we go down, we need 8 double crochets, just like when we go up. So everything is 8. Very easy to remember. No thinking. That's what I like. But you do got to do some counting. And for me, even counting this morning seems to be a challenge. I don't know why I'm struggling. I'm struggling with the math. I'm struggling with the counting. It's one of those days, I guess. Thank you all so much for the heart me. Guys, if you have 1 coin, you could also do a heart me just on TikTok over here. Click on the little heart and you could join up on the team. I appreciate the support. I appreciate all the little hearts that are flying up the screen too. Thank you so much for the screen taps this morning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And over on YouTube, I see lots of thumbs up over there as well. So thank you guys all so much for the support this morning. And thank you for the gifts this morning, guys. I know I was mid talking as the gift counter was going off, but I really appreciate the gifts this morning as well. So thank you all so much for that. And let me set up a new gift goal here. Just keep the algorithm happy, if you will. Confirm. I'm getting better at this. Woohoo. Okay, so this was our mountaintop. You can see how it's kind of going up at the very top. Now we're at the valley. So again, when we get to the valley, we need to do 3 together double crochets. Again, sounds worse than it is, okay? So into these 3 stitches, we're going to do our double crochets. So into the first one, we start a double crochet, yarn over, go under that back bump, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and now we're not going to finish that stitch. You're just going to hold this. Casey, this multicolored yarn is Caron Jumbo, and the colorway is Rosewood. And then we also have the Super Saver Pink that I'm using, and this is Baby Pink. And then I'm going to use just Red Heart White with it as well. White I just kind of always have hanging around. I use lots of white. Okay, so we have, let's resume here. We have 1 unfinished double crochet. Now we need a total of 3 of these. So again, don't finish, move to the next stitch here, and again, yarn over, go under that back bump, draw up a loop, start your double crochet, yarn over, pull through 2, again, holding. Do not finish. You're just going to gather these up on your hook. Gather ye rosebuds. Okay, yarn over, right under that bump again into the next stitch. Here's number 3. Draw up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. Okay, so now we have our starting loop. You can see here 1, 2, 3 unfinished, total of 4 loops up top. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 4 of these, squish these together. You want them to kind of go together, okay? And that is what is forming these valleys. So that's what's making it go up and down. The whole chevron process is merely an illusion. In my mind, when I first started this, I thought I was going to have to like go up and down physically, but really all you're doing is by putting these 3 together, you form your valley, and then up at the top of the mountain, by doing the increase, you're forcing it to fan over the mountaintop. Okay, so now we're going to go up the mountain. And again, we need 8 double crochets. So whenever we go up, it's 8. Whenever we go down, it's 8. And then you have your valley and your mountaintop. So I've already lost count here. Let's see where I'm at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so here was our valley we just did. Now we're at the mountaintop, and in the mountaintop, we're going to go into this next stitch here, and we're going to do 3 double crochets, okay? These are not together, but it's considered an increase, and you're going to do 3 right in that same stitch. So this allows our stitches to kind of fan out and crest over the mountaintop. Now we're ready to head back down, and again, we need 8 double crochets, 1 in each of the next stitches. Here's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And 8. Let me double count this and just make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take your time as you're doing this foundation kind of starting row, guys. it's very important that these counts are right. You're setting yourself up for the entire blanket. So if these counts get off as you turn and go to your next row, you're going to be scratching your head and trying to figure out, exactly where you went awry. So, um, Sparky made an update to her chevron blanket. Check out Sparky's TikTok, guys. Let's see. Hillary said, I made a baby blanket from your other pattern and got so many compliments. Oh, thank you, Hillary. Thank you so much. I'm glad to hear that. Mary says, I'm looking for a new pattern to make a blanket, and I may do this one. Yeah, it's really kind of easy. Once I kind of figured it out. I've done a number of chevrons, and I really like. You guys know I like doing them. Um, they're really a fun blanket for me to do, and I think they work up great for a wheelchair size. It kind of makes it fancy without being fancy. And when I can do this double crochet, um, just repeat this double crochet. It just makes it super, super easy, where I'm not after work when I'm so tired. This has been a really hard week at work for me. For those that don't know, I'm a hobby crocheter. I do have a full time job, and man, the struggle this week has just been. It's been a week, and I'm ready for the weekend, and I still have 2 more days. So hopefully today's better. Yesterday was a little better than the day before, but man, was it? What's today? Today's Thursday, so Tuesday was just a humdinger of a day. I'll tell you. It was rough, really, really rough. Okay, so I'm going up the mountain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need 8. Okay, now here we are to the mountaintop. And once we're here, again, we're going to do 3 double crochets right into the tippy top of the mountain. Okay, so here's 2 and 3. So these are not together. This is more of an increase, so you can go up and over the mountaintop. Okay, now we're going to head back down to the mountain, down to the valley, I mean, and we need 8 double crochets. And I'm getting closer to the end here. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to send you guys all bouncing. I was trying to pull up my yarn. I've got some tight quarters here with these cameras. If I start getting a little too flappy with my arms, I bump y'all. Play some bumper cars. uh let's see. Oh, Mama Wheeler is here this morning. Hey, Mom. Good morning. Um, uh, Leonie, I did 122 chains to start. This is a repeating pattern, guys. So if you are just jumping on, you can find this on my link tree. Okay, this is a very easy 1 row repeat. I kind of stacked up some rows here this morning. Um, and just to kind of illustrate what it would look like if you alternated some colors, but I'm just repeating what row 1 over and over again. So basically, you're going to stack these chevrons up as many as you want. So your repeat is 20. Basically, you chain 20, and then you say to yourself, is this big enough? Yes or no. If the answer is yes, then you would add 2, and then you would be ready to start your double crochets. If the answer is no, you would crochet another 20. Now you have 40. Is this big enough? Yes or no? No, add another 20. So I did a total of 122. And that typically works out to be pretty good for my wheelchair size blanket, about 35 inches wide. Obviously, if you were working on a queen size or something bigger, you might want to do a different amount. So basically, you go 20, 20, 20, 20, 20 till you get them all, and then you add 2. That amount counts this turning chain here of 3. This turning chain is your first double crochet. Okay, so basically you would go into the 4th chain back on your hook after you get all your chains, and then you start with your double crochets. This diagram is on the link tree, guys. I do not read patterns. However, I do read diagrams, so that's really all I have to share with you all. So hopefully I've explained it in a fashion where you guys can now read the diagram and understand. When we get ready to turn and do the next row, I will explain that again so we can kind of visualize it on the paper and then carry on. But I've only got this little bit left. So this is when it gets down to the wire when I start thinking to myself, I hope I counted right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need 8. Can you explain how the count includes or doesn't include the peaks and valleys? So the count does include the peaks and valleys. Okay. So basically, you can see here, this is a valley. Do you see? Let me get my scissors here. Do you see how there is three together double crochet? You have your 1, 2, 3 chains. So that is included in the count. Up here is the tippy top of the mountain. We're doing 3 double crochets and it's just into that one chain. So basically, when I drew the diagram, I placed each of these stitches into the chain as I went along. But basically, between your chevron here, from here to here, with a I9 5 millimeter hook and a 4 weight yarn, which is what I'm using today. This chevron works out to be about 5 inches. So basically, if you have you say, okay, I want to do a 35-inch wide blanket, you can kind of get an idea of how many chevrons you need to do. But this 20 plus 2, it includes all of these. Okay, so hopefully that helps. But this 20 here, this from here to here is 20 chains. And okay, well, I lost count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here was our mountaintop. So now here I am in the valley. Okay, so when we do the valley, we need to do our 3 together. So you can see I have the 3 bumps here of my chain. Into the first one, I'm going to start a double crochet. So I grab up a loop, pull it up, yarn over, pull through 2. Now I'm not going to finish this stitch. I'm just going to hold it. Then I'm going to move to the second stitch here and I'm going to yarn over and start another double crochet. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, holding. Do not finish. Move to the next stitch. This is number 3 and again start another double crochet. So now you can see here we've got our starting chain. We have 1, 2, 3 unfinished double crochets, a total of 4 loops up on top. We yarn over and pull through all of them together. Squish those up. You want them to come in together. So basically what that does when you do your, this is also called a decrease, it forces this to kind of become a valley. So up here is high and then down here is low. You can kind of see if I spread that out how that's forming. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go up the mountain. So again, we need 8 double crochets. When we go up the mountain, I'm putting 1 stitch in each of these back bumps of my chain. So here is number 3 and 4, 5, oops, get back on there, 6, was that 6? I have a hard time explaining this and counting it, guys. It's usually something I do on the couch by myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so here was our valley. We have 8 double crochets. Now we're to the mountaintop. So at the very tippy top of the mountain, what we need to do is put 3 double crochets into this one chain space. So again, I'm working into the back bump, and all I'm doing is placing 3 double crochets. So you can kind of see them there. This forces this to fan out so we can crest over the mountaintop. And now I'm ready to head back down to the valley. And whenever we go down, 8 double crochets. So always 8. Very easy to remember. It's just counting them that's the hard part. Too many distractions, I guess. Deborah said I made a queen size chevron and did a queen size moss stitch for a friend. Wow, I've never made a queen size chevron. I've always done just kind of a lap size, or this is a wheelchair size. This is going to be about 35 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's see if I got this right. So I'm going to have 3 together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I did it right. Yay. Okay, so this is our mountaintop here. We had a valley over here. You can kind of see how it's going up and down. So now here we are in the valley again, and we need to do 3 together to make this kind of squish up. Okay, so we're going to start with a double crochet, and under this back bump here, we're going to draw up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and now I'm going to just hold that unfinished. Okay, don't finish your first one. Now I'm going to start a second one. So again, double crochet right under that back bump. Excuse me. Grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, again holding, do not finish. We're gathering these little loops up on our hook here. And now we need number 3. So again, double crochet, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have our starting loop. We have 3 unfinished, total of 4 loops up on top. And now we're going to yarn over and pull through all 4. So we want to squish these up. You want to squish those together. Okay, so there's our mountaintop. This is our valley. Now we're going to head back up the mountain, and we need a total of 8 double crochets when we head up the mountain. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm always so excited when it works out perfect. I have one last stitch, number 8. Okay, so 8 as you're going back up the mountain. Now, here is the one thing to remember, guys. We're on our very last stitch here. When you get to the end, you have to add number 9 to your ends. Same thing when you're starting out. You're always going to have 2 double crochets in this very last stitch. Oh my gosh, I have 54 messages. Sorry, friends. I'm going to catch up on the messages here real quick. We've got a lot of people watching over on TikTok and quite a few over on YouTube as well. So we've kind of finished, come to the end here. We've done our initial row. Okay. So I'm going to start from the top. Guys, if you are a new follower, thank you and welcome, welcome to the stream. For those that don't know, I am a hobby crocheter and my name is April. And I come on live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings at 7 Central Time. I live in Northeast Alabama. I work remote in Arizona. So my full-time job, I have to be at work at 9 Alabama time, and that's 8 o'clock in Arizona. So I know it's really, really early. You guys on the West Coast, gosh, I don't even know what time it is right there. Is it like 6 a.m. over there? Or maybe earlier. Anyhow, it's very, very easy. Very, very early. I put all of the links to everything on my link tree. If you're watching me on YouTube this morning, the links are down in the description of this video. You can find a link to the written pattern. You can find a link to the yarn that I'm using. Today I'm using Red Heart Super Saver, and this is the colorway Baby Pink. Okay, and then we have the Caron Jumbo, and this one is called Rosewood. I'm also going to be using some white this morning as well. But basically, here's an example of what I am making this morning. This is the With Love chevron, and I'm just doing a very easy 1-row repeat. This is all double crochets. I finished this one a couple weeks ago. Wherever you see the purple, I'm going to do pink. And where you see the white, I'm going to do white. And then this variegated color here, I'm going to use the rosewood color, the new color. Okay. This is a wheelchair size. I donate a lot to charity, and this will be going to Sabre Healthcare along with this new one that I'm making. I also donate a lot of baby blankets, and so that's kind of my little niche, but I do other stuff. I do amigurumi and that kind of stuff as well. So if you are interested in this pattern, what I have on the link tree is a PDF version of this that you can download and print out. Okay. It has the little legend here, but basically, this morning when we started the live, we did our starting chain and we did 122 chains. Then I just got through finished working this row of double crochets. So now I'm ready to turn my work and we're going to start working our second row of double crochet. So this is, I kind of stacked them up here so you guys could kind of visualize how these play together. But basically it's just the one row. It's all double crochets. Very, very easy. So I'm going to turn my work and we're going to start with our double crochets. Okay. So when we go down the mountain, we have 8 double crochets. When we get to the valley, we have 3 together double crochets. When we go up the mountain, we have 8. And then at the tippy top of the mountain, we have 3 double crochets into the very stitch. So you can see here, as we start working our second row here, again, we're going to have 8. And remember, your first one out, I'm going to do an extra one. So there's 9 here. This will help keep the edges of your blanket very straight. Then when we get down to the bottom of the valley, we're going to do, again, our 3 together and work our way up. The tippy top of the mountain is going to be the very center of the tippy top we did before. So hopefully that will help to answer some of the questions about the pattern that I'm doing today. Friends, if you are a new follower this morning and I miss your questions, please feel free to ask again. The mods will try to pin your comment and they will try to help answer the questions as well. So hopefully that answered a lot of questions. I have like 60 messages over here on TikTok that I have missed. So if that didn't cover it and you still have a question, please try to ask your question again and maybe the mods can pin it for me. But we're going to get started on row 2 here and turn our work. And anyhow, let's see here. I'm very glad that you guys are all here this morning, though. Tracy asked, how many rows do you do? So basically, I go more by size. I want this to be 35 inches wide. When I do a wheelchair size blanket, the ideal size is 35 inches by 45 inches. So I will stack these rows up until I get to 45 inches. Now, when I do this particular, I kind of always do it in these little groups because I want it to be easy for me. I start with the purple. This is folded in half, but if we spread it out, I kind of go by these groupings, right? So the way I do mine, I do 5 of the purple, 2 white, then I do a variegated, 2 white, and then I'm back to the purple. Then I can kind of count these color groups. So basically, this white section here, I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I know when I get to the 7th group of my white and I finish off with my purple, it's about 45 inches. I've done enough of these that it kind of works out that way. But if I was just starting this and I didn't already know that information, I would just stop and measure periodically and kind of go from there and get your bearings. Um, yes, my hook, guys. Sorry, it's kind of grungy this morning. I probably should take some time to change it, but I'm not going to. So I use vintage Susan Bates hooks. They are the only hooks that I like, and I use inline hooks, and I make my own little grippies. So when you go and like get your blood work done, and they wrap your arm up with the tape. It sticks to itself. It's called Coban. I just wrap this on my hook and it just makes a little grippy for me. But it does get kind of grungy. It's cheap. I get it off Amazon. And okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 2. Uh, you can do a chain of 3 here if you would like. I'll do a chain of 3 and let's talk about this, okay? And I'll explain to you kind of why I do what I do. I'm ready now to turn my work. So I'm going to flip this over. And then remember, into this very first stitch here, we need an extra double crochet. Okay, so we're going to have 2. So the reason why I like to do 2 chains for my turning chains instead of 3, do you see how this is bowing out? Can you guys see how this kind of has like some play in it? When I do my turning chains, if we look at this blanket here, do you see how this is nice and flat? And I don't have any of those bows? That is because instead of doing a turning chain of 3, it works better for my crocheting if I do a turning chain of 2. It just works out to a better height. So you can see now when I do the 2 chains, now it's not like bowing out. It's very nice and flush, and this will help to keep the size of my blanket very square. Okay, so as we're looking, this was our valley that we did down here. We're going to head down the mountain. And when we go down, we need 8 double crochets. And again, your very first one is adding, we're going to need 9. So I have 2. Let's get us up to 9. So here is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so 8 plus your 1 makes your 9. Okay, now here I am to the valley. So we turn our work a little bit and you can see we have 1, 2, 3 stitches. I'm going to go under both bars of these stitches and I'm going to do a 3 together double crochet. So on your diagram, that is what this little symbol is here. Now that sounds really complicated. If you're no crocheter, I'm going to break this down. It's really not that hard. Okay, so 3 together, double crochet. So into the first stitch, I'm going to start a double crochet. I go under both loops, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now here's where the magic happens. Do not finish that stitch. Just hold it. Then I'm going to move to the second stitch and I'm going to start yet another double crochet. Go under both bars, grab up your loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, holding, do not finish. And now into the third stitch here, again, we're going to do another double crochet. Pull through 2, again, holding. So now we have our starting loop. We have 3 unfinished double crochets, total of 4 loops up on top. Now we yarn over and pull through all 4. You want these to squish together so they squish up. Okay, that is our new valley. Now we're going to head up the mountain. So again, look for your landmarks. Here is where I did my mountaintop before. I had 3 stitches. This very tippy top here, the middle stitch, is going to be my new mountaintop. Between the valley, as I go up the mountain, I need 8 double crochets. Okay, so we're just going to count these out. But once you are able to identify your landmarks, you will be able to crochet without having to count up these sides. You'll be able just to put in your stitches, again, looking for that landmark. So here is the landmark I'm looking for, right? So here is our 3. This is the tippy top. So in theory, I need 1 more. Now let's go back and count this and see if it was right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Here we are to the mountaintop. Again, here's our 3. This is our new center point. Now we're going to put 3 double crochets right into the tippy top of the mountain. So this is considered an increase. You'll hear that term a lot in your crocheting. And this basically will allow us to crest over the mountain. And now we're ready to head back down into the valley. So again, you can kind of see this is our valley here. We need 8 double crochets as we head down. Is everybody having a good week this week? Are y'all liking this chevron? Is this helping at all? I know I've missed a lot of the comments, but I hope this is helping as I'm explaining this, guys. I know we have a lot of people watching over on TikTok. We have almost 160 people watching on TikTok. Um, he came in with adhesive tape. Try this. I've totally missed everything what Gen X is talking about. I'm like the third wheel that's come in on the story. Okay, so here was our mountaintop. Let's count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and here's number 8. So again, now we're to the valley and we're going to do our 3 together double crochet. Oh, you're talking about Coban. Okay, I got you. I got you. Okay, so here you can see 1, 2, 3. We're going to do 3 together double crochets. Again, very, very easy. Yarn over, go under both bars of your first stitch, grab up your loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now again, holding, do not finish. Now you're going to move to your second stitch. Yarn over, go under both bars, grab up a loop. Again, yarn over, pull through 2, holding. Now here's our third stitch. Go under both bars and start another double crochet. So now we have a total of 3. We have our starting loop here, 3 unfinished, 4 loops up on top. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 4. So we squish those together. That becomes our new valley. And now we're going to head back up the mountaintop. So I'm going to crochet up here. Gen X has alerted me it's time to do the drawing for the subscribers. So I need to get my magic wheel. Now, folks, over on YouTube, you're not going to be able to see me do the drawing because I have to bring my phone over to the tablet, and it's kind of cumbersome as I do it. Okay, so um, we'll do the drawing here in just 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here is number 8. And now here we are to the mountaintop. Again, you can see those 3 stitches. So a very center here, we need to do 3 double crochets for our mountaintop. That's our little increase, and that helps to fan out. So now we can head back down the mountain. Okay, I'm going to pause here and let me get the wheel fired up here. Patty, I am using a size I9 hook this morning. So I did, for those that are wondering, the giveaway this morning is for our TikTok followers. I don't have, not followers, subscribers. Okay, this is a subscriber giveaway. Today I am giving away a 3-pack of Scarfy yarn by Lion Brand. It's a beautiful, beautiful yarn. Their claim to fame with this yarn is basically you can work up a scarf, a hat, and they call for a shirt here. But basically, with 1 to 2 skeins, you could do a scarf. And then you could do a full hat with it. And I sell these, or I buy a 3-pack of these. I'm going to send this to you from Amazon direct. Okay. And if you don't like this colorway that I have picked out, if you're the subscriber, when I DM you, just let me know if you want a different color. Okay. But this is the colorway Sea Glass. And it is just a really, really pretty yarn. This is rather expensive yarn, in my book anyway. I'm kind of, I want to say frugal, but guys, I'm just downright cheap. Okay. I use a lot of Red Heart. I am economical. I try to get the most bang for that I can get for my buck, and try to do get what I can. But I thought this is such a pretty yarn. It would be really fun for a giveaway, and maybe somebody else would really like this as well. So I kind of crocheted a little bit with it. You can see it's kind of a fuzzy yarn. But it is really nice and soft and fluffy. And I thought this colorway is just, gosh, look at that. Is that not just like beautiful? I love it. And it's not rough at all. Okay. I'm one of these people. I get geeked out by all things crochet. I get geeked out by crochet hooks and yarn and projects. And I am a yarn fanatic. So this yarn itself, if you're curious about the yarn, I'm not affiliated with Lion Brand. Okay, guys, but I'll just give you the rundown. It's a 4 medium weight. It calls for a J10 hook. It is machine wash gentle, lay flat to dry. And it is 43% acrylic, 41% polyester, 9% nylon, and 7% wool. Okay. And you would think that it might be kind of rough. It is not rough. It is very soft and pretty. Okay. So, TikTok friends, I'm going to take my phone. We're going to go on the little journey here over to my tablet. And I put everybody's name that was subscribed before TikTok went dark. Okay. Sorry, YouTube guys. I'm going to bounce you around a little bit. But here is our spinning wheel. Okay. So I put everybody's name here that was a subscriber before TikTok went dark and then came back to life. Okay. So everybody's name is up here on the wheel. And I'm going to try to hold still. Sorry, I know this is not ideal. I'm going to do some shuffles. Get these all shuffled up. And are you guys ready for me to do a spin? Here we go. Who will it be? Who will the winner be? Coming in. Barbie Crochets is the winner. Drum roll for Barbie. Too exciting. Okay, let me go back and get you all back in your cradle here. Bear with me here as I have my hand covering the phone and get you all situated back. But congratulations, Barbie. I don't know if Barbie is on this morning, but I will definitely send a DM and let her know that she is the winner. And again, really, really pretty yarn. But these are for a 3 pack, it's like $30. And so I just thought it would be a nice little subscriber giveaway. So thank you all so much. I don't really know what all's going on with TikTok on the subscribers and stuff. Right now, it's really hard. I know Gen X and Anvil might have more of an idea if you want to subscribe. If I have subscribers for the month of, what are we on? February. If the upcoming month has subscribers, I will of course do a subscriber giveaway. Okay, so don't worry. If we have one, I will pick something and we'll do a subscriber giveaway like we always do. So anyhow, reminder to anyone who was a sub before the shutdown, you have to resubscribe. Okay, so that's what Gen X girl said. I'm going to head back down the mountain here into the valley, and we need 8 double crochets. So if you guys could kind of talk about the subscribers and stuff while I work on some of these stitches and kind of move along here. And also, thank you guys all so much for tapping your screens this morning and for all of the shares. I see 15 shares for the live. It has been a rather productive live. I've seen a lot of new followers popping up over on TikTok, and we have 19 people watching us over on YouTube as well. So, welcome, welcome, friends. I'm so glad to have you here. If you are new to my channel, I just want to let you know that my name is April. And I come on live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings at 7 Central Time. I do live in Northeast Alabama and I work remote in Arizona. And so my full time job, I have to be to work at 9 Alabama time, and that's 8 in Arizona. And it just gives me time in the morning to kind of crochet with friends and have my coffee and chat. And I really enjoy trying to, teach about crochet. I am not an expert crocheter. Like I said, it's just my hobby. But I do this because I think to myself, if I can come on and inspire somebody to maybe get into crochet if they've never crocheted before, or perhaps you haven't crocheted for a long time and you see a project that I'm working on, and maybe that inspires you to pick back up your hook. Maybe you've lost your crojo and you talk to some friends here and you get back excited about crochet. Just to have kind of a family friendly kind of environment where we can all share not just about crochet, but fiber arts. I do a lot of different types of stuff. And so I like to kind of come on and talk about those things. So that's a little bit about me. I do live stream my bird feeders. I'm an avid bird lover. I live stream those over on YouTube, as well as I have a deer camera set up. And we do have deer that come in. So we're kind of out in the country, and we relocated here from Arizona about 4 years ago. And my husband and I, we just absolutely love it here. It's just been an complete dream come true, and just so much fun things happening. It's beautiful every day. Man, yesterday the sun was shining, and it was just really a joy. And so I just feel in such a happy place that it inspires me to come on and share with friends, I guess. And so that's why I kind of do what I do. I don't sell any of my stuff. I do a lot of charity donations. I make, for family and friends, if there's babies that are coming and whatnot. And so that's kind of how I do my thing. I am going to talk about these stitches, but we'll kind of start from the top and give you a rundown. I am in Rainsville, Alabama, Kara. Again, Northeast Alabama. We are about an hour south of Chattanooga. Okay. And just kind of in that upper northeast corner. In an hour we could be in Georgia, and an hour we could be in Tennessee. So that's kind of where we're at. I am going to talk more about these stitches. So don't worry, I'm going to get right back into this, and we're going to start from the top, and I'll give you the whole lowdown of the pattern and whatnot. I was just trying to catch up some of our new followers. I've seen a number of people coming on, and they're probably scratching their head going, who is this girl and what is she doing? So the pattern that I'm working on today is the With Love pattern. I created this pattern um, the day that my father passed away. My family and I, we lost him December 22nd. And the way that I express myself is through crochet. And so I just was feeling inspired to kind of come up with a pattern that I could, throughout this coming year, make veterans blankets and wheelchair blankets and be able to donate those in memory of my father. My dad was a vet, he was in the Army. And so I came up with the With Love pattern. And you guys have seen me do this a number of times on the lives. This is I did it with the American Patriot blanket. This behavior is not in line with our policies and maybe result in gifting suspension. I don't know what that means. I got some kind of a warning. Okay. Um, I might not be able to do the gifting on the live anymore, guys. I might have to do it I might have to do it as a video like we did with the other. So anyhow, enough about gifting. But when I do this With Love pattern, I like to do a secondary version of that. And that is a simplified version where I just repeat row one. So instead of all of the textured stitches, today I'm just doing a double crochet row, and I'm repeating that and stacking those up. Anvil, I'll take a screenshot of that warning that I got, and you can look at it with me later after the live. So anyhow, this is just a very easy one row repeat that I'm doing. And you can see this is a finished version of it. I've alternated the colors. You can do your colors however you would like. And anyhow, that's kind of what we're working towards today. You can find this pattern on my link tree along with the different yarns that I'm using today. But basically, we started at the very beginning of the live and we did our starting chain. Then we did our row of double crochets. And now I'm working on the second row of double crochets. Guys, these stacked up here are all the same. Okay. All we're doing, I just put additional ones here so you could kind of see how they stacked up together as you were crocheting it. But there's no difference in these lines. I'm just doing them over and over again. And like I said, they're all double crochets. And the way that I started this is it is a repeat of 20 chains. So basically, I chained 20 and then I said to myself, is this big enough? Yes or no? And if the answer is yes, then you would add two, and that includes your little turning chain that you have here. If it's not large enough, then what you do is add another 20. So you do 20. Is this big enough? Yes or no? No, add another 20. Now you have 40. Is this big enough? Yes or no? Add another 20. So for this morning, I did that a total of 6 times. 6 times 20 is 120. And then I added two for my last little stitch here. Then I came back and I started doing these double crochets and I'm working these up and down. Now, if you want to see or rewatch how I'm doing this, I am live this morning over on YouTube. And within 24 to 48 hours, I will take the video recording that we're making today and I will publish it out. And you can go back and rewatch it on YouTube if you want to see the video again. And you can also see the other American Patriot blanket and the other videos that I have over there. My handle on YouTube is Wheeler 8 Acres. Okay, so here we are. Down here was the valley. Now we're headed up the mountain. And as we get to the little tippy top of the mountain here, in the very center stitch, that is going to be our new mountaintop. Into that mountaintop, we're going to do 3 double crochets. So this is an increase. If we look at our diagram, you can see right here how it has 3 into this very tippy top of the stitch, the very middle. That's what we just did. Now we're going to head down the valley. We need 8 double crochets. Then when we get to the valley, this little symbol here, you can look on your legend, is a 3 together double crochet. Then we're going to head back up the mountain and we're going to head to this edge of this blanket as we finish out. So now we're going to go down and we need 8 double crochets. Whenever you go up the mountain or down the mountain, you need a total of 8 double crochets. And I'm just putting one in each of the stitches. Okay, so you can see here under both bars, I'm just doing a double crochet. Very easy. Thank you for the gifts this morning. I appreciate that. Let me work on this here 1 second. We're going to be down in our valley and I'm going to walk through this. Would Caron yarn be good for a baby blanket? So Caron yarn has a baby yarn that is pink and blue and white, like variegated, all in baby colors. It's a very pretty yarn. So that I would recommend that. There's also other yarns you could use for baby blankets, specifically for baby blankets. But you could totally, choose one of those as well. Lots of different possibilities. All you would need to do is you would just need to match your hook size with the yarn that you're choosing. Okay, so this yarn that I'm using today is a 4 medium weight and it calls for an I9 hook. So that's what I'm using. So uh, if you pick out a different baby yarn, maybe it's a 3 weight, you would just need to match that hook size. Chica on YouTube says, so she's skipping a stitch before the peak of the mountains. No, I'm not. Going in every single stitch. And I'm placing one. When I get to the mountaintop here, though, I am putting 3 in the very tippy top of the mountain. So we're going to turn and I'm going to do another whole row. So bear with me here, guys. We're down at the valley. Okay, so you can see here we have 1, 2, 3 stitches. We're going to do a 3 together double crochet. Again, that's a real mouthful, but I will tell you it's not going to be that hard. So we wrap our yarn around into the first stitch. We start a double crochet, yarn over, pull through 2, and now we're going to hold. This is where the magic is. Do not finish this stitch. Now we're going to go into the next stitch here and start another double crochet. So yarn over, go under both bars, again, grab up that loop, and then yarn over and pull through 2, again, holding. And now we need this a third time. So here's our third stitch. Again, start another double crochet, yarn over, pull through 2, and again, holding. You can see here we had our starting loop on our hook. Then we have 3 unfinished double crochets, total of 4 loops up on top. Now we're going to yarn over and pull through all 4 of those loops. You want them to squish together. Okay, that is our new valley. Now we're going to head up the mountain and we're coming up on the edge of the blanket here. You remember, as we go up the mountain, we need a total of 8 double crochets, 1 in each of these stitches. So Chica, I'm going under both bars with these double crochets and I'm not skipping any of them. There should be a stitch for every single stitch. Okay, so just placing 1 into each one of these. Okay, so let's give this a count now and see where we're at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. This is our last stitch here. This was the turning chain. And so now we need to put number 8 stitch into this turning chain. Okay, now here's the thing when you're doing the chevron blanket. Do you see, it's a little hard to tell, but do you see how this stitch kind of folds inwards? What you need to do is in order to keep the edges of this blanket straight, we're going to put another double crochet right into the last stitch. By adding this stitch number 9, this is what helps to keep this straight. So this one kind of tips in and this brings it back out straight. Erica said, this is the first time I've really understood this kind of pattern. Thanks for explaining it so well. You're very welcome, Erica. I struggled for a long time with this, so that's why I do like to come on and kind of talk about it. I think I made it a lot more complicated in my brain as I was trying to figure this out. And once I understood the concept of the mountain and valleys and how they work together, then I was able to do this blanket a lot better. Okay, so now I'm going to chain 2. This chain of 2 counts as my first double crochet. I'm going to turn my work, and now we're going to work back the other direction. Okay, so this is our first crochet. Now remember, as we go down the mountain, we need 8 double crochets. But as I mentioned on this last row we just did, we need this extra one to keep the edges of our blanket straight. So into this first stitch, we need another double crochet. So you're always going to have 2 whenever you end and whenever you start. And now we're going to need 7 more because we need a total of 9 when you do your first down the mountain. Okay. Just don't forget that extra stitch. I will tell you guys, if your counts get off as you're doing this and your stitches are not lining up anymore properly, the first place I go to look where I possibly screwed up is this stitch right here. 9 times out of 10, if there's a problem as I am working this blanket, it's because I missed adding that second stitch. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so don't forget that guy there. Now here we are to the valley. Okay, you can see how this is our mountaintop over here. This is the valley. The way we do this is we're going to do a 3 together double crochet. So again, this sounds complicated, but we're going to break it down and make it very easy. So here is 1, 2, 3 stitches. Our goal here is to do a decrease and put all of these together. So into this first stitch, we're going to do a double crochet. Maria, the chain 2 does count. It does count for the turning chain. This turning chain counts as a double crochet. So if we look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is the valley. So again, this turning chain I just did right here, this counts as my first stitch. So I guess technically on the pattern, I didn't make it a turning, but this should be a turning chain every time. And I like to do a turning chain of 2 instead of 3, but you could do 3 if you prefer. I just like the look of 2. So definitely that turning chain definitely counts as one of your first stitches there. Okay, so back into the valley here, 3 stitches. You're going to start the first double crochet, yarn over, go under both loops. Then I'm going to drag up a loop, and then I'm going to yarn over and pull through 2. Now, this is where the magic is. We're just going to hold this. You'll be tempted to finish this double crochet. Do not finish it, just hold it. Now we're going to go into the second stitch and we're going to start another double crochet. So I yarn over, go under both bars again, draw up a loop, again yarn over and pull through 2. Now again, we're going to hold this. Now we're going to do stitch number 3. So again, yarn over, go under both bars, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, again holding. So now we have our starting loop here. We have 3 unfinished double crochets on our hook, total of 4 loops up on top. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. You want those to squish together. When those squish together, that is what helps to form this valley as we continue up. So you can kind of see how this is moving up and down. Now we're going to head back up to the tippy top of the mountain. We need 8 double crochets as we work along here. And this is our mountaintop. So again, we're looking for the marker of the row below. So you can see this was our 3 double crochets in the mountaintop. So if we look at the very center here, this is going to be the new tippy top. So I kind of, as I'm crocheting, start to get in my mind what I'm looking for. I look for the landmark. And then I start doing my double crochet. So again, I'm not skipping any stitches. Into every single one of these, we're placing a double crochet. And I'm going under both bars. There's a total of 8 of these as you go up and down the mountain. And after you get the landmarks kind of figured out and you get more practice with this pattern, I get to the point that I don't even have to count these anymore. I can visualize it. But I do, while I'm on the live, we'll go back and count these just to make sure we're on track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So again, here was our landmark. You can see our little mountaintop, 3 stitches. Right here in the mountaintop, we're going to do 3 double crochets. Now these are not together. These are just 3 independent double crochets. Okay, so that is our new mountaintop. This is considered an increase. When you do an increase, it allows the stitches to fan out. So like when you do a ruffle on a baby blanket or something, you those fan out and then they become like a shell. Same concept we're applying here. Okay, so those are our new mountaintop. Now we're going to head down to the valley here. You can see again 8 double crochets as we head down the valley. And again, you could count these out. You can look for your landmarks. And once you get familiar with this, you'll be able to cruise right along and be able to find those landmarks. So again, I feel like I'm getting close here. I can see this is the valley stitch that I had below. See how there's the 3? So I know I'm getting close. I think I need one more here. Let's go back and count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's number 8. So now we're ready to do the new valley stitch. Okay, so again, I can kind of turn this so I can see the stitches. Here's stitch 1, 2, and 3. We're going to do a 3 together double crochet. So again, we're going to yarn over, go under both bars of the first stitch, and start our double crochet. Yarn over, pull through 2, again holding, do not finish that stitch. Then we're going to go into the second stitch here, yarn over, again under both bars, grab up your loop, yarn over, pull through 2, again holding. We need a total of 3 of these. So this is number 3, right under both bars, grab up that loop, yarn over, pull through 2, again holding. So now we have our starting loop. If we look down below, we have our 3 unfinished double crochets, total of 4 loops up on top. Now we're going to yarn over and pull through all 4 of these loops. You want those to squish up. That is what is causing this valley to form. This is considered a decrease. Okay, so now we're ready to head back up the mountain. As you head up the mountain, again, we need 8 double crochets. Again, I'm looking for my landmark. Here's our mountaintop of the row below. You can see they were all in those stitches. Here's the very center. I know that's going to be my new mountaintop. So into every single stitch here as we work up the side. Again, I'm going under both bars. We're doing a double crochet 8 times, 8 double crochets. And then when we get to the mountaintop, we're going to do our increase again and fan up over the mountaintop. So again, I know I'm getting close here. I can see this is our mountaintop. Go back and count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just make sure I'm on track. So again, this is our new mountaintop, and we need 3 double crochets right into this one stitch. So these are not together. Just do a total of 3 stitches. Again, this is considered an increase. This allows it to fan out. We want to be able to crest over the mountain and be able to come back down the other side. How big would you do for a good lap blanket? What I like to do, like I have this brown blanket that I crochet with. This is my electric blankie. This is the size I really like. And so what I usually do is measure a blanket like this as I'm crocheting in my lap and kind of see how wide this is. Now I'm making a little smaller because this is a wheelchair blanket that I'm currently doing. But I think this blanket that I have on my lap, I think it's like 40 something, maybe 50 inches wide. So just get your favorite blanket, size or kind of measure across you. And that'll give you an idea of how wide you need to make yours. And then as I'm doing my starting chain, right, I kind of lay this out and I will measure this as I'm doing my starting chain, and that'll kind of give me an idea. Now, I'm a little more, I need to be precise because I don't want this too big to get caught up in like the wheelchair, like wheels and stuff. But if you're making it just for a lap blanket for your couch, you could be a little, it's not so critical that it's an exact size, right? But you definitely don't want it too big. You want it to be functional, right? If it gets too big, then it's more like a blanket on the bed and it's too heavy to like move around and stuff. So you'll definitely want to kind of do some measurements and play around with it before you lock yourself in. Okay, so here was our mountaintop. Again, we're headed down the valley. We need 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 under my hook there. And now we're back down to the valley. So again, in the valley, we're going to do this a few more times. I'm getting a little time check so that I can go to work. But we have 3 stitches here. Into the first stitch, we're going to start our double crochet. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, again holding. Do not finish. Go to your second stitch. Again, start another double crochet. Yarn over, pull through 2, again holding. And third stitch, again, yarn over, go under both bars, pull up your loop, and pull through 2, again holding. So you can see now we have our starting loop here. We have 3 unfinished double crochets, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through all 4 of those. You want those to squish together. Okay, so that's our new valley. And now again, we're going to head up the mountain. Once you get going with this blanket, it does work up rather quickly. I think I timed myself one day and just crocheting, for me, crocheting along normally, I was able to finish one in 7 hours. So that was wheelchair size. That was a 30 by 45-inch size blanket. Now, if you're doing a lap blanket like for your couch, I really think that you would be better served with like maybe a 50-inch wide blanket. Is kind of what I go for. That's the size of the blanket that I'm currently using, the little brown blanket that I have. But for the wheelchair blankets, they are a little smaller. They do work up quicker for me. And so, but that's the nice thing about this pattern is you can make it any size that you want. And guys, also, this is not the first time we're going to be working on this or the last time. Okay, I'm going to be working on these wheelchair size blankets and this pattern throughout the year. My mission is to do one a month minimum, to be able to donate in memory of my father. And so I really want to be able to give back to veterans and over to Sabre Healthcare and just be able to donate. If you're interested in donating blankets, there are links on my link tree to Sabre Healthcare where you can donate. Sabre Healthcare is part of Warm Up America, and there's links for Warm Up America as well. There's also Project Linus links if you're interested in making and donating baby blankets. A lot of times we don't have an outlet for the things that we make, but we want to keep creating. And so it is nice to have some of those different avenues that we can, just give back a little bit. And that's what I like to do. So this wheelchair blanket that I'm making today, it will, my plan is to give it to Sabre Healthcare, and maybe some gal can have it and snuggle up with it while she's in her wheelchair, out watching TV or something, or maybe in her room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need 8. I always like to double count those. And I'm going to work myself here to the end. But guys, I've seen a lot of new followers popping up on TikTok, and also I'm not able to tell if people are following over on YouTube. It doesn't alert me like TikTok does. But thank you so much to all of the new followers who have joined this morning. For those that don't know, my name is April, and I am a hobby crocheter. I do come on live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings. And so this is my last day this week, but don't worry, I'll be back next week. And I come on at 7 Central Time. I live in Northeast Alabama and I work remote in Arizona. And so I have to be at work at 9. And so that's why you see me getting the little time checks. The uh, mo- uh, mods are helping me to keep track of my time because I get on these crochet tangents and I lose all track of time and everything. And so anyhow, I will be hopping off soon, but I'm very glad that you found me this morning, and I know you're going to love this little community that we have here. It's not just about me; it's about each and every one of you that come on in the mornings and chat and share your crochet journeys. and all of the things that you're working on, and just make this a really fun place to come and hang out and talk about crochet and have a very safe space in the mornings to just kind of relax and chill. So I just wanted to thank you guys all for another fabulous week. If we could give a shout out and a round of applause to our two moderators, Gen X and Anvil. These two gals do an amazing job, guys. They do it out of the kindness of their hearts every day. They come on, they help to pin comments and really help keep the live flowing and answer questions. I could not do it without each and every one of them. I also could not do it without all of the other friends that I have here that just come on and help to answer questions. You guys are an amazing group, and I appreciate each and every one of you that make this such a marvelous community. So there is a link to the Discord if you're interested in getting onto the crochet server. And if you have not taken an opportunity to give me a follow, definitely do that because we're going to be hopping off soon. There are links again to the pattern on the link tree. You can find everything that I'm working on today. And just a reminder as well, my YouTube channel is Wheeler 8 Acres if you want to go over there. This live will be published back out within 48 hours, and you'll be able to go back and rewatch it. This will be like a landscape that you could watch on your television or on your computer. And again, thank you guys all so much for all of the support this week. I hope you all have a fabulous weekend, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Bye for now. Have a great day.